2, 1.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another presentation of Forge D20's Thrones. I am your Dungeon Master Hunter, once again joined by my best friend Zach and my brother Parker. And we are very excited to once again share with you this experience. To recap last session, the party has finally dealt with Gorthok the Thunderboar, the shamans, half of this tribe, and now they are taking their final step to ensuring their pact with Hatheron is ensured, so that he will join us to defeat the White Dragon. And it has led us to a sort of stronghold here on the coastline of the Storm Coast. There is a lighthouse that these orcs, or what's left of them, have moved into and turned into the new stronghold for their tribe. So Hatheron has divulged a plan to get us in there, and we are currently just outside the gates to get into this de facto orc stronghold. So without further ado, let us begin. I'm going to describe the scene, and then we'll just take it away from there. So what you see before you, the three of you travelers, Daedalus, Alistair, Hatheron, currently in the distance to the west of you, you see a great many shipwrecks. You see protrusions of different masts, the bows and bows of different ships. You see sharks in the waters just kind of periodically patrolling. You can see beneath the crystal clear waters some reef, coral reef life. You can see what looks to be all sorts of different, what looks to be life, fish. You can see different creatures such as mermaids, and you can see in the distance a great many crows have begun to swarm near the stronghold in the distance, which was once a lighthouse. You can see what remains up there. The beacon that was once the lighthouse is still lit, but it's defunct. It does not spin. It does not light in any particular direction. It's just light emanating from it all around. Right now it's about midday as you approach this de facto stronghold. You can see gateworks up in the distance towards the actual proper stronghold area, the courtyard. You can't get a number of how many people are there, but you can see that there are lights coming from within a fire being lit in the courtyard. So, that being said, Hatheron, you are currently at the front of Alistair and Daedalus. You have chains ready to bind them and explain your plan. Take it away.
When we enter the stronghold, you must not speak. I shall have your chains tied loosely, so when the time comes, you are able to fight. Your weapons will be in my possession, but I will put them within arm's reach of you before I initiate combat. Whatever I say in there, you must not speak. You are slaves. Be slaves. Some of you, more specifically one of you, will take the lead on being a slave. Do what he does.
Alistair turns and looks at Daedalus. Just kind of side-eyes him. Just shrugs his shoulders. He's just going to follow Daedalus's lead.
Daedalus just looks off at Hatheron and motions with his hands for him to lead the way. He doesn't speak, he just motions with both hands, because he's got his hands kind of in front of him, loosely shackled, and he just motions. Go ahead. He doesn't say anything, though.
Hatheron, after shackling you guys up, takes your weapons, puts them in a bag, slings the bag over his back, and starts walking you guys down the path.
Alright. As we make our way down this very narrow path, avoiding the edges as not to fall off and fall into the stormy waters of the bay in this area. Hatheron, you approach, you're probably about 10-15 feet away from what looks to be the lone gate guard here. He's equipped with a scimitar at his waist, and you can see he has a unlit torch tied to his belt as well, since it's midday. As you approach, the orc squints at you, stands up from his seated position, and puts out a hand. Stop! Who are you? And why have you come here? Your face is not familiar to me.
I am Og of the Blackmane clan. I come here bearing gifts for your war chief in exchange for information.
Gifts. He kind of steps forward towards you. Slaves, you say? Is that what they are?
Yes, slaves, and I also have knowledge of one of your raiding parties.
You see his eyes get a little wide, and then he squints at you. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Almost rolled physical dice.
He rolled to attack. With advantage, he rolled twice.
Oh damn.
Oh, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, but yes. Okay. You say this. He looks at you. Very well. I will take you to the war chief. Bring the meat. And he starts walking away ahead of you.
Alright, yeah, we follow him.
Alright. Takes about 3-4 minutes, but it's a long winding road up this path up to the actual camp for these orcs. As you step inside, you can clearly see Hathron. You make note of this. Daedalus, you obviously see this, and Alistair sees this as well. As the three of you kind of look around your surroundings, trying to get a number for how many men there are, you can see there's not that many warriors here. You see maybe 5, counting the gate guard who's guiding you in. And then you see a handful of women and children, probably no higher than maybe 15 women and children in total, kind of running around doing odds and ends work in this courtyard. Whether it's they're doing leather work, they're just feeding the children or keeping an eye on them. You can clearly tell that there's not that many of them left. As you approach the proper doors to the inside of the stronghold, you see 2 guards stationed on either side of the door. The gate guard who's leading speaks to them as he approaches. Slaves for the war chief. Open the gate. And the 2 of them look at each other. One nods, and the other steps forward to the door and opens it. He will be pleased, he says. As the gate guard huffs and leads the 4 of you inside. You make your way through this rundown lighthouse. You can tell that they have turned this place upside down, completely transforming it to their needs. This has pretty much become a de facto home for them. You can see many different cots, sleeping arrangements, and different areas that the orcs are using for a kitchen, or they're using for storage, whatever. You make your way up the stairs with the rest of the, with the gate guard, and you can see that the 2 door guards to the entrance have followed as well. As you make your way up the winding stairs to the top of the lighthouse to a proper, we'll say, sort of de facto throne room that they've converted for their war chief. The gate guard steps forward. He motions for Hathron to step up as well. Hathron, do you?
Yes.
You step up beside the gate guard, the 2 slaves behind you, Daedalus and Alistair. And then the gate guards are going to stand, or the door guards are going to stand by the actual door to keep an eye on things. The gate guard steps forward. He takes a knee in front of the sort of makeshift throne that's there. It's just kind of piles of stone, wood, piled up to make the shape of a throne. And this gate guard falls to one knee. My war chief. This is Og of the Blackmane clan. He claims to have slaves in exchange for information. The war chief's eyes lift from his, what looks to be sort of disassociative state. You can see he's quite vexed in this moment. Something seems to be perplexing him. To describe him, though, he's quite large. He sits on this happenstance throne of garbage, but you can see quite a large and proud orc. He's probably stands around 6'8", weighs probably around 300 pounds. And he's not all muscle. There is some meat on him. He is rather thick. He has no hair on the top of his head, and he has a very specific sort of war paint over his face. And you can see this war paint is 2 streaks under each eye. And you can see what looks to be across his throat a red slit, like a cut somebody would have on their throat. He looks up at you. Well, Og, speak. Why have you come here?
I need information on the whereabouts of the remaining Blackmane clan. In exchange, I bring you these slaves and information about a raiding party.
You see him kind of lean back in his chair, getting comfortable. Separated from your clan. Is that what this is?
Yes, in a way, I've appeared to have made a fool of myself.
You can see he's kind of sizing you up in this moment, trying to tell who you are, where you're from, and if you're even telling the truth. You say you have information on a raiding party.
Yes, they raided a town not far from here. I believe they've been killed.
You see, as you say this, you see the 2 honor guards on either side of you. One to the left and one to the right of the throne. You see another sort of shaman-looking individual sitting behind the throne. They all kind of look amongst each other. You can see them exchange glances, and then all of them sort of look to the tribal chief there. And he takes a moment and looks at you. Do you know what killed them?
You might not believe me, but all signs point to one thing killing them. Some kind of warrior, perhaps.
A warrior. You're telling me one man killed an entire raiding party?
All the evidence points towards one foe.
And that is?
I believe it to be the Orcbane.
Alistair, you see, as Hathron says the words the Orcbane, you kind of look around just for a moment, and you can see a couple of the orcs. They know who that is. They know who he speaks of. You see a couple of their eyes widen as they turn their heads and they take a look at their chieftain. You see their chieftain. You see a sort of shift in his behavior, his demeanor. He goes from sitting back in that chair rather relaxed to he's now sitting up and kind of leaning forward. You're telling me the Orcbane has come here? To us?
Yes, that is why I must find the rest of my clan to warn them so they may gather their strength. Perhaps maybe even assist you in exchange for service. High Chief Krieg will demand it if he helps.
Perhaps.
There's also a dragon about. Have you
Yes.
seen it?
I am all too familiar with this dragon. I have no doubts that on your way up here to my throne that you saw, I do not have many warriors. And there are not that many women or children amongst us as well. The dragon took care of the rest of my tribe. What is left fled here with me. And my shamans, they have left somewhere else to gather the strength to face this dragon. But I know not where they are. And that raiding party was ours as well. So our numbers grow even fewer. You see him sit back in his chair. He begins to rub his forehead with one hand. You're right, Og. We will have to work with the Black Manes. Very well. We will take your slaves.
First, allow me to demonstrate their devotion. These are the best trained slaves anyone has ever come across. With your permission, I would like to demonstrate.
He takes a curious look at you. He tilts his head and looks back at the slaves behind you. Step forward, meat.
Alistair turns and looks at Daedalus. Kind of nervous looking in his eye, but he steps forward.
You step forward. Do you step next to Hathron? Do you step in front of Hathron? In front of the war chief?
In front of the war chief, because I'm trying to blend in as much as possible.
So you step between, we'll say you step right here. Hathron's right behind you, and then Daedalus is going to stand next to you. He goes up as well. Kneel, meat. You can see and tell, Alistair, that Daedalus is trying to control himself to the best of his abilities. But you can tell this is a great strain upon him. It is taking every fiber of his being to contain himself. You can see his hands as they clench themselves together, his knuckles protruding, turning white from the pressure. You can see him gritting and grinding his teeth together as he takes a solemn kneel before the throne. Do you do the same?
Alistair gets onto one knee and bows his head to the chieftain.
The chieftain looks at you, Hathron. You may demonstrate.
Hathron's gonna take your weapons and lay them out in front of you. And then he's gonna get in front of, in front of the chief and in front of you guys. Unbind your hand. And he's gonna turn around, look at the chief. And then he's gonna say, I must apologize, Chief. It would appear you've been deceived. The Orcbane is not coming. I am the Orcbane. And I will have my vengeance. And then Hathron draws his weapon and attacks the chief.
As soon as you say this, and you say you've been deceived, immediately people start moving. The two guards that were at the door start running towards the situation, and the two honor guards start to move in as well. However, you do get this whole line out, and as you say, I am the Orc's Bane, and I've come to take my vengeance. He screams out, seize them! And the fight begins. So I need you guys to roll me initiative.
19.
19, very nice.
15.
I'll roll mine in front of everybody. I get a +2, I think. Yeah, I get a 12 for Daedalus. And then 13 for Hathron. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and roll just, I'm going to roll a few to the combat tracker, but I'm not going to roll a ton. There'll probably be just 3 separate groups, and they'll go in 3 turns. Alright, so as the combat begins, the very first group to go are the Honor Guard. So to either side of Daedalus and Alistair is 2 Orc Honor Guard. They are going to move in quickly, and they're both going to take a strike at Hathron. They're going to run up and try to defend their chieftain. That's what they would be beckoned to do. So they're going to be on either side of you, Hathron, and they're both going to take an attack at you. This is the first one. Does a 18 hit?
Does attack win ties?
Yeah, yes.
Then yes.
Okay, 18 hits. And then let's see for the other one. An 8 does not. So only 1 hits. Go ahead and roll his damage. You take 5 damage. And you're not raging, so this is not halved. It is now Alistair Darkheart's turn.
So as these honor guards start to converge onto Hathron, Alistair's weapon is still on the floor in front of them. So he's going to mutter something in Infernal, some sort of incantation perhaps, and his obsidian rapier turns into a black mist, and suddenly he lunges his hand forward as if the rapier is in his hand, and it forms in his hand, and he's going to try to stab the honor guard right in front of him as it reforms.
Nice. Alright, go ahead and roll your attack.
A 15.
That succeeds.
Gonna do 9 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to cast... I probably should have done this before, but I'm going to do Hexblade's Curse on the thing I just hit, so the Honor Guard.
Okay.
And
I'll let you say you did it beforehand. It's okay.
Okay, so maybe while I'm muttering that infernal incantation, it's also at the same time me casting the Hexblade's Curse. So it is cursed for 1 minute. I get a +2 to damage roll, so it's 11 points of damage.
Nice. 11 points.
That's my bonus action, my main action. I am not going to move, so that's all I can do.
Do you stand up, though? Right.
Oh, yeah,
You go from kneeling to
absolutely. I'm
standing?
standing up. I'm, like, going from the kneel position, slowly lurching my way up with the rapier inside their fucking flesh.
Nice. So you stick the rapier right in his side. It slices right through the rib cage, sliding right in between each rib and going right into the sort of center mass of this orc. You watch as the breath is taken from his lungs. A great gasp comes out from him, and he turns towards you. You can see him sort of reaching down, trying to pull the blade out, but that is the end of your turn. He is greatly wounded. It is now Hathron's turn.
Sweet. I'm gonna go straight for the chief.
You rage?
Yeah, of course. Let me fucking re-get.
Alright, he rolled his great axe to hit.
Fuck.
13. Is that your one attack, or do you have multiple?
I can
I thought
frenzy.
you have 2 attacks.
Yeah, I can frenzy and take another one.
If you want to, you can. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. It doesn't. Not negative. All right, doesn't matter. I fucking hate myself.
So, Hathron, you take 2 mighty hacks with your great axe towards the chieftain. You bring up the axe and slam it down. As you go to bring the axe down, The chieftain is just quick enough to stand up and rotate just out of the way of the blow as it crashes down, destroying his throne. You tear it asunder with that first slam of the axe. It cracks it, and the de facto junk throne falls to pieces. The chieftain stands to his feet. You take another swing, pulling the axe out, and you sort of swing wildly towards him. He just kind of leans back just out of the reach of your great axe, but you throw chunks of stone, wood, and junk all over this room from taking your axe out from the pile of rubble that was once his throne. Is there anything else you can do?
No, I'm just gonna make sure I'm close to Chief, so if he moved over.
Alright, so you get close to the chief, preventing him from getting anywhere without exiting your reach and taking an opportunity attack. That is the end of your turn, so next will be Daedalus. Alright, so Daedalus sees the chaos now unfolding around him. He's going to reach down in front of him and with both hands grab the sickle, and he's immediately going to take a swing at the honor guard next to Hatheron, and Hatheron's right, and it is also to Daedalus's right. On our screen, so it's on our left. So Daedalus will, from the kneeling position, sort of just take a mighty quick step lunge with his right knee standing up, and then as he's standing up to his feet, he's going to swing from left to right with a sickle, just trying to cleave it into the sort of just beneath the ribs meat of this honor guard orc. Let's see if it hits. That is a 19. That hits. And then he's going to roll his damage. Daedalus does 5 points of damage. Or no. He does 4 points of damage. Forgive me, I can't believe I didn't mess that up, that number. He does 4 points of damage as you see Daedalus take a quick step from his kneeled position, and he swings the axe from left to right, or not the axe, the sickle from left to right as it cleaves into the rib meat of this orc. You see him kind of lurch over to that side as a bit of blood sprays out, and now he's reaching back with his left hand with his sword, and he's going to try to bring it down on Daedalus's turn. But next in the order is the chieftain and the shaman. So we'll have the shaman go first. The shaman is going to... Let's see here. The shaman is going to cast... Let's see. He has a spell. I just gotta find it. I'm sorry. Forgive me. The shaman is going to cast... What's that, it's a poison spell.
Poison spray?
It might be poison spray, but it's a...
Is it single target or area of effect?
It's supposed to be AoE.
Hold on. I'm looking through now. Spell list real quick.
Might not be poison, it might be acid.
Do you know what level spell it is?
No. Should not be high level though, it should be low level. Oh, it's simple. That was terrible, I can't believe I didn't remember that. This is Acid Splash. He's going to cast Acid Splash. This shaman is casting a bubble of acid. He can choose one creature within range or choose two creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other, and they have to succeed on a dex saving throw or take a d6 of acid damage. He's choosing Daedalus and Alistair. He's going to cast poison or acid spray or splash on both of us. So make a dexterity save, Alistair.
Don't tell me what to do.
Daedalus will as well. Daedalus fails.
You said dexterity?
Yes.
Natural 20.
Nice. So, Alistair, you
Nice.
completely dodge the acid bowl that's being sprayed towards you, all the acid spraying around, but somehow not hitting you. You manage to lower out of the way of the greater effect of this bubble, but Daedalus takes the brunt of it as it splashes right in front of him, coating himself and a bit of his armor in acid. You can see as some of the armor corrodes and begins to rust and melt away, and you can see Daedalus's scales begin to burn, and you see steam protruding off of the scales. Daedalus sort of groans in pain, but he's still very much in this fight. And let me see how much damage he takes here. Daedalus takes 2 points of acid damage. All right. Now it's the chieftain's turn. The chieftain is going to take his greatsword, and he is going to attack Hathron with his greatsword. So he's going to take his greatsword, and he's going to step forward, and with one end of the greatsword, he's going to use his first attack. He's going to try to hit you with the hilt of the greatsword, like with a bludgeoning strike. He's going to try to stun you by hitting you with the hilt of the blade, and then he's using his action surge to bring the rest of the greatsword over the top. So he's trying to like sort of stun you a little bit, maybe break your nose with the hilt of the blade. So this is the first. Does a 15 hit?
No.
All right. So he tries to take the butt of the blade and hit you with it. You manage to parry this blow, knock it away, and then after you knock it away, he's going to just use that momentum and swing the greatsword around and bring it back towards you, the bladed end this time. Oh!
Sick.
He completely whiffs. You watch as he sort of twirls the blade around using the momentum of the parry to counter swing back around, and as he brings it back around, the swing is wide. You don't even have to move. It's inches away from your face. You just stare at him as it swings right across your face, doing nothing. After that is the gate guards, or the gate guard and the door guards. The door guards are going to move in. Another one's going to be behind Daedalus. One's going to be behind Alistair. And then one's going to be sort of behind both, like kind of between. It's just a big pile now. Everybody's fighting, swinging wildly at each other. Two are going to attack Daedalus, and one is going to attack Alistair. So the one next to you, Alistair, I'm going to do that one first. He's going to attempt to stab you with his short sword. Does a 11 hit?
No.
11 does not hit. All right. Then two attacks into Daedalus, one short sword and one long sword. Or scimitar, rather. But does a 15 hit? No, a 15 does not. And let's see if the next one does. A 14 does not either. So you watch as, Alistair, you can hear them approaching from behind you. The first gate guard comes running up to you, and you can see him take out his short sword. He's going to try to stab you right in your belly as you turn around to face him, and you manage to just kind of move your body, leaning to the left side. You sort of like hunch over to the right, and you give yourself just enough space that it's kind of right between your arm and rib cage. This sword slides in between, and now you see an opportunity where you can possibly riposte and attack him in return next turn. The two others are going to run up on Daedalus. One swings at him and is successful in hitting him, but it bounces off of his plate armor from the angle, and then the other one swings wildly at Daedalus, missing completely. Daedalus is moving too much, attacking the other orc for him to hit him, basically. Not very accurate. That being the last of the orcs, we go back to the top to the honor guard. The honor guard, one attacking Hathron. Oh wait, no. These are the ones that, forgive me. These ones were actually attacked by Alistair and Daedalus. One's got Daedalus' sickle in him, so I will do that one first, and he's going to attack Daedalus. A 22 definitely hits. He's taking his war axe and slicing into Daedalus. He does 6 points of damage to Daedalus. Oh my goodness, Daedalus already not looking good. You can see as this orc, after being stabbed in the side of his ribs and cut open by Daedalus' sickle, he's going to reach his war axe back with his other hand and bring it down right into Daedalus' clavicle. And you can see the blood spurt from Daedalus. And you hear him roar out in pain as he now falls to one knee as his great axe is sort of driving him to the, or not great axe, war axe is sort of driving him to the ground. another attack into Daedalus. Or not into Daedalus, this one's into Alistair, forgive me. This is the one that you stabbed in the in between the rib cage. He tries to counterattack towards you, Alistair. You can see this one also kind of reaches back with his war axe and sort of cleaves left to right at your head, and you just easily, he's telegraphing this a long way, you just duck right underneath it. You're too dexterous, you're too fast, he's too slow to hit you. After that, we go to Alistair's turn. You have an opportunity to counterattack. His arm swings wide of you.
As Alistair's ducking with his rapier still inside this orc's flesh, he's going to quickly pull it out, transfer the rapier from his right to his left hand, and lunge forward with his left to pierce the same one that he hit, the honor guard, yet again.
All right. Roll to attack, my brother.
Nice, 21.
Don't forget your bonus damage.
Of course. +2, so 9 points of damage.
Describe how you kill this honor guard.
So as Alistair transfers the rapier from his right to his left hand, he hit the previous lung with his first attack. He is now going to pierce the opposite lung with the other attack, completely cutting off oxygen circulation from this orc. The orc turns blue immediately as it's unable to get oxygen into its lungs and just chokes to death.
Ugh. You watch as he sort of claws and grasps at his throat, unable to get air to his lungs, and he falls to his knees and then suffocates and goes limp. That is one dead orc, the first casualty of this battle.
Bonus action. I don't get 5. Is it 5 HP or 5 temp HP? Hold on, let me read how it's cursed. Nope. No temp HP. Okay. I think that's gonna be it. If I move, I don't want to take an attack of opportunity, so. Actually, wait. Yes, I do. I'm going to come around towards over here. I'll take one attack from opportunity from this orc right here.
Yes, sir. Alright, he's going to use his reaction and take a wild swing at you with his longsword. Does a 13 hit.
No.
Hit me! He misses completely. As you go to move, he takes a swipe at you and you're just too fast.
Alright, and that's gonna be it. Question real quick before I change my turn. Are we like, this looks like it's maybe a fence that maybe we're outside, or is this like its own room in the lighthouse? Just
we are
curious.
upstairs. You see how it says upper level?
Yes. Okay.
We're in the upper level of the lighthouse.
Gotcha. I was trying to see if I could propelling blast someone off the ledge if we were outside, but we are not. So.
Would you like to do a quick perception check to see if there's any windows nearby?
Oh, yes. Yes, I would.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
A
You
19.
would be not see this. All right, so I'm going to show you right now with my little. I'm going to ping it where there's windows. So right here, that's a window right there. It's that exact space right there. Yep. There's another one across the side on the opposite side right here. Right there as well. And then you can see another greater window right here. It's double the width.
Oh, it's about to get crazy, boys.
There's windows up here, but none that are like within access to where we're fighting right now. The other ones are like the other side of the room, the greater windows.
Okay. I will say, Alistair and Daedalus aren't the only ones falling out of a window today, boys. Alright, that's it.
Alright. So we go to Atheron. Atheron, it is your turn.
The chieftain right in front of a fucking window?
He is. His throne was positioned right in front of it, and you destroyed it. So he's sort of to the left of his throne now, only like 2 to 3 feet. And there's like a pile of rubble to his right, and you can see maybe 5 to 10 feet behind him is a huge, and it's already kind of busted open. You can see that there are panels of this glass window that have been smashed or destroyed over time.
Okay. You said it's like 5 to 10 feet behind him.
5 feet on board. You could knock him back that far.
So if I push him 5 feet, is he gonna go out the window or just I don't know?
I don't know. It depends on how hard you push the fucking guy. If you roll, you know, just to push him 5 feet back, he may save himself from falling. He may just roll a dex save and, you know, succeed. I would say there would be some kind of check to keep himself from falling out the window, but that check would be higher based on how successful you are at shoving him. For example, if you roll a nat 20, the save to not fall out the window is going to be extremely hard. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm gonna use shove.
Alright, so that's going to be your
The
bonus
target
action.
must succeed on a strength / dex save. It's a DC 15.
Alright, DC 15 strength saving throw for him.
Yeah, it either gets knocked prone or pushed 5 feet back.
Alright, well, he fails. So I'm going to have him roll another save, and this is going to determine whether he falls out the window or if he goes prone, because you used shove and you said either or. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, being the DM, if I was to choose, I would choose he falls prone. You know, he's not going to want to go out the window. But I'm going to say, rather, you roll me another d20, because you did succeed. Roll me a d20 to see how hard you shove him. This is a different kind of save. This is something I'm just kind of making up in the moment. But this will just be kind of fun. If you roll higher than 11 or higher, he goes out the fucking window.
19.
Alright.
21, unnatural.
You shove the war chief out the window. Now, can you describe how you shove him? Is it just like a shoulder charge, or are you just pushing him with your hands?
I fucking kick him.
Alright.
Spartan kick him out the window.
Nice. So you just kind of take a step forward and then with one leg, big boot his ass right in the chest, center mass, and you send him 5-10 feet back, and you watch as he kind of looks back as he tumbles out the window, and you can hear him start, "Ah!" as he goes flying out the window, tumbling to the grounds below. I'm going to move him. You don't know what happens to him, though. We'll have to find out. Is he dead? Is he not? I don't know. I also need to see what room we're at. We're at the upper level. Okay, yeah, so I can see where he would fall. Alright. He's out of the combat tracker, though. He's out of the combat. He's definitely out of the combat. You still have your, I'll say that was a bonus action. To shove.
Alright.
I don't think that that's, like, the whole turn necessarily. So you could still move and make another attack if you wish.
Alright, I'll go to this guy down here at the bottom, right?
You're gonna move towards him?
Yeah, I'll move towards him.
Alright, you take an opportunity attack to do so. Because there is another orc that was next to you. He rolls a natural 1, so he's too afraid. He freezes in the moment. He just watches this war chief. He's like, "No! You son of a bitch!"
You said the shove was a bonus action, right?
Yeah, so you can make an actual attack now.
Okay, since I'm in frenzy and I'm in rage only does so much. Frenzy, I get.
You're in frenzy. Do they get advantage to attack you?
Great question. Holy fuck.
We'll keep
let
that
me
roll.
read it.
But let me make
You
sure,
can
because I
take
think
a
they have advantage.
single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each turns after. That's all it's.
Okay, so maybe they don't get advantage. Alright, well go ahead and... You've already used your bonus action, so you don't get another. But you do get to make that 25 hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your damage. Oh my goodness.
Smack the fuck out of that.
How do you hit him? Where do you hit him? You don't kill him, but where do you hit him?
I hit him in the shoulder.
Alright, you take the axe and you come bearing down from this sort of like diagonal angle from like top right into the sort of trapezius area of the shoulder of this shaman. As you drive the axe in, you go probably like 4 or 5 inches deep, and you watch as the shaman screams out in pain. The shaman is then going to use whatever vestiges of magic he has left, and he hellish rebukes you. Zach, can you tell me the stats on Hellish Rebuke? I believe it's 2d6s, correct?
No, I think it's 2d10s, my friend.
2d10s.
Yep.
Damn, do I gotta pass a check or something?
Yes, dexterity. So Hunter will set whatever number.
It is a DC 14 dex saving throw.
So it's 2d10 of fire damage. Or if you're Alistair, it's cold damage.
Roll me a dex saving throw, my brother.
Hot.
You fail. All right, let's see how much damage you take. You take 10 fire damage.
Damn.
Remember, you are raging, so it is halved,
Are you sure?
but you still take.
No, it's I take the full fire. It only rage in the
physical.
current edition is resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. So pretty much any like
Physical
a weapon.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 10 fire damage. All right, he is at one knee. He is to both of his knees. He's fallen to his knees. This guy's on 1 HP. Hellish rebukes you. Is that the end of your turn, Hathron?
Yes.
Okay. It's now Daedalus's turn. Daedalus is not looking good. He is surrounded. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have Daedalus... He's gonna try to tackle one and throw him out the fucking window. That's gonna be his whole turn. He's just gonna try to throw this one out the window over here. This guy, the one who just stabbed him. So after that guy brings the war axe into Daedalus's clavicle, Daedalus is gonna reach up with his one arm that's currently not, being absolutely eradicated by this blade. He's gonna grab up and reach and grab around the neck, like the nape of his neck, the collar of this orc, and he's going to stand up and just with his full body shoulder into him and run him towards that window and try to shove him out of it. So I'm going to do shove again. So this guy's doing you said it was strength, right, Parker?
Yeah. Which
Right.
mine would have been 6, not 7. I mean 50, but whatever.
So he fails. He fails his defense against the shove. Now I'm going to roll to see if I shove him out the window. 11 or higher. Oh, yes! Let's
Sick.
go! So you see Daedalus as he reaches up and grabs that one by the collar of his neck, and you hear Daedalus, "Ah!" and he goes running with him towards the edge of the window, and he slams into the guy, breaking the rest of that window, shattering it, and you watch the guy tumbles out the window. "Ah!" You just hear the trailing of the scream as it falls down. Wilhelm scream. "Ah!" And Daedalus standing there, and the war axe fell with him. The war axe came out of his shoulder, but you see Daedalus is greatly hurt still, but this orc is gone. We don't know what happens to him until after the combat. Because he could have... I won't say if they live or not. It just depends on where they go tumbling.
He's probably fucking dead. Bit of
I don't know.
a cliff back there.
I will see. If the map lines up with that, then you can definitely assume that. After that, Daedalus is going to use his bonus action to get his second win. So he's going to get some HP back. He gets his hit dice. So he gets 6 HP. That's okay. He did get some of his HP back, a fair amount. Daedalus is now here. He charged that guy out the window. That is the end of Daedalus's turn. We now go to the orc shaman, who's on one knee, and they are going to, he's going to reach out, Hathron, and he's going to grab your axe, and he's going to use Shocking Grasp. So let me make sure I get this right with Shocking Grasp. He's trying to touch you. He's reaching out, grabbing your weapon. It's a metal. It's a conductor. Melee spell attack against the target. He has advantage if you're wearing armor made of metal. You are not, so he does not have advantage. But he's just trying to electrocute the mess out of you with this. So he's making a melee spell attack. A 14 does not hit, right?
No.
Okay, so he reaches out to shocking grasp you, and you just pull the axe back out of his hands. As he sort of reaches on to grab onto it, you just snatch it out of his hands. You're much stronger than him. He has very little strength left. You can see he can't even stand up to his feet at this point. That is the end of the shaman's turn. We go to the gate guards now, because both of the honor guard are dead, so you've got 3 gate guards. The one next to Alistair's going to go. He's going to take his, this one's the short sword variant. He's going to try to stab Alistair with a short sword. Oh my god, he's invincible because nothing can hit him. That's a 5. Or no, that's a 6. Doesn't matter though. The Scimitar one, the one who came to the gate with us, he's going to rush Hathron to help out the shaman. He gets +4. That's a fucking failure. Nothing can hit. These orcs are definitely donezo. The next one is the one that is on top of Daedalus. He's the one with the long sword. And he rolls a 13. That does not hit. All the orcs miss their attacks.
These guys suck.
They are devastated. They just watched 2 of their honor guard die, and they watched their chieftain fall to his death, presumably. They are fighting for survival, fighting for their lives. We now go back to the top of the order, though. Alistair Darkheart. Crazy orc guard trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Swinging his short sword all around, slicing it there as you weave left to right.
Alistair's, he's slipping from these attempts at trying to slay him that are fortunately rather, not going the way of this orc. Alistair's gonna wait and try to find an opportune moment as ducks one, slips the other. Now he sees an opening right into the gut of the orc as he's going to thrust his rapier inside. A 23.
Wow. Okay, you definitely hit.
6 points of piercing damage.
Very nice.
And then
you impale this orc deep.
Bonus action.
You can reassign your Hexblade's curse.
I don't think I can. It doesn't say I can.
Yeah, after you kill something that's been Hexblade's curse, you can still reapply it.
Nah. You know what I'm gonna do? Alistair, seeing his friend Daedalus is in danger, is going to come over and try to help him out. He's gonna take an attack of opportunity. Yeah. Hit me.
That is a 13. That does not hit.
I wish it would hit, though, but no, it doesn't. Alistair, as this guy misses. Man, you're a really shitty orc, aren't you?
Shut up.
He's bullying him.
Can't you just die already?
No.
No, you.
That's it.
That's it for your turn?
Yeah.
Alright. We go to Hathron. Hathron, you got one orc in front of you that's at 1 HP and another one behind you.
Yep, so I'm gonna attack the one in front of me, finish him off real quick.
Alright, go ahead and roll your attack. You hit.
He's dead.
Just how you kill it.
So after I rip my axe away from him, because he's trying to shock me or whatever, sling it right back down right after he misses his shock attack, and I finish cutting the rest of the way through his chest.
Nice. So you wrench the great axe away from his grasp, and then you use that momentum of wrenching it back to just turn it mid-wrench and bring it back down on that shoulder, and you just cleave right into him, and you cut right through him like butter. And you watch as this bisected shaman falls to pieces. It's blood pooling in the ground beneath him and beneath your feet.
And then I'm gonna go straight to attacking the guy behind me.
Alright.
Value?
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Should have saved that damage roll for that guy, though.
Double big value?
Never mind. Describe how you kill this orc.
After I cleave the one in half, I turn around, lock eyes with the orc behind me.
Wait! You see, he kind of starts taking steps back from you. Wait!
And then I swing my axe sideways, cleave right through him, do a full spin, and then look at him, and then his torso falls off the bottom half of his body.
You take this swing through him, and Alistair, you see that his upper half sort of like bounces up and then right back in place. And you watch as the orc kind of looks down for a second, and as Hathron completes his sort of pirouette with the great axe, and he comes back around to look at the orc. His legs take a step, and they look real wobbly, and then you watch as the upper half just falls, sliding off the back of the, towards the rear of the legs. You watch as he just falls to pieces. So now you've got two big old orcs cut in half at Hathron's feet, blood pooling all around him. He's covered in their mess, their matter. Two orcs remain. Is that it for your turn, Hathron?
I'm going to use my movement to approach. I'll do the one directly ahead of me.
Alright, so you do this one.
Then
Alright, it goes...
that'll be it.
Okay. Goes to Daedalus. Daedalus is going to... Daedalus is going to try to grapple this one. And... No, not grapple. He's going to try to stab him. He's between Alistair and him. Yeah, he's going to try to stab him. He's going to take his sickle back in his hand, and he's going to just try to take this one and slice it right across his head. Aiming for the neck, knowing that if he misses the neck, he slices this guy's face and mess him up. So let's see. With both hands, swinging the sickle. A 13 hits. It ties his AC. And let's see how much damage we do. Oh! Very good. Daedalus does 8 points of slashing damage. He doesn't quite kill it, but you watch as Daedalus takes his sickle, sort of from a just beneath horizontal, just a little bit lower than horizontal, sort of like a 105 degree angle. He takes this sickle from left to right and he rakes it across the orc's face. You watch as you see his face is basically bisected. His nose is cut asunder, the bridge of it cut across towards the eye, and you watch as his nose is just basically hanging on by flesh. And the orc grabs and claws at his face from the pain, blood splurting out from the wound. And it falls to its knees. Daedalus is then going to move himself away from the window to this side of the orc, and the orc is very low and very bloody, but that is the end of Daedalus's turn. We go to the two orcs now. The one that is next to Hathron, he's actually going to... He's going to run straight at you, Hathron. And he's going to, with all his might, take his sword over his head, and he's just going to cleave it from north to south, trying to just bring it down on your head. He's just sort of mad swinging. 10. He misses. So, to describe, he comes running at you, and he brings the sword down, and as he brings the sword down, you basically, I'm just going to say, you reach out and you grab him by the fucking throat.
Shit, alright.
Mid-running. You just reach out, you grab him by the throat, and you watch as he the voice leaves his throat, he stops screaming mid-run, and you watch as the sword keeps going forward and leaves the grasp of his hands, and he's now like reaching out, grabbing at your forearm. The other orc is going to take wild slashes. He's going to try to cleave both me and Alistair. Since we're at like a 45 degree angle from him, I'm going to count it as he's swinging wildly at both of us, just trying to get us away from him.
Okay.
But he's pretty much at a disadvantage trying to hit us at both, so he's got to roll twice. The lower roll is what we keep, but this is for both of us. Does a... Oh, that one probably hits you, Alistair. Does a 14 hit?
It just hits.
Alright, so he's going to roll his damage on his scimitar.
I'm going to use my reaction to cast Hellish or Stygian Rebuke.
You're going to take 8 points of slashing damage. Daedalus does not get hit. As he swings from right to left, Daedalus kind of lurches forward. You watch him kind of hunch as the scimitar just misses him, kind of scratching at his breastplate. And the blade continues to swing through, and you watch. You're just a little too slow to move out of the way, Alistair, as this scimitar then cleaves into your middle of your rib cage, getting about 1 to 3 inches deep into your bones.
Ow.
And then you said you cast Stygian Rebuke.
Yes, they need to make
So he's going to roll a dex save.
Yes, sir. DC 13.
He succeeds.
Okay, so he'll take half damage on this. So he'll take 6 points of cold.
Oh my goodness. As he cleaves from right to left and his scimitar cleaves into your body, you watch as the mangled remnants of what was this orc's face sort of twist in delight of actually hitting deep into you, and you watch as he tries to pull the scimitar out. You groan in pain, but with your free hand that's not grasping your rapier, you reach out, and a blast of Stygian the Stygian gates opens up and blast into this orc's face. You watch as his head is completely covered in ice. It's too heavy for the body to withstand. You see it kind of reach up towards the head and then fall backwards. And as the head makes contact with the floor, you watch as the head shatters and his headless corpse remains with remnants of the ice keeping the blood from pouring too much from the stump that was once his neck.
Nice.
It is now. That was the last orc, so we go back to the top of the order. It is you, Alistair. After just Stygian rebuking that one, you can see across the room, Hathron has the last orc by the throat, and you can see it's clawing at him, trying to get him to let go, but he is far too weak to get Hathron off of him. You can see Hathron's got a firm fucking grip on that thing. No diddy.
Alright, Alistair's just gonna charge and fucking get this guy in the gut, and as he's charging, let's see if this hits first. It'll depend on what dialogue I give if this hits.
Alright.
An 18.
An 18 hits.
And 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Describe how you hit this orc. You don't kill it, but describe how you hit it.
Just runs up, stabs him through his, like, abdomen, like his obliques on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you're not a very good orc.
That's all you get out of him as you're stepping into him.
And that's gonna be it for Alistair.
Alright, we go to Hathron. Hathron, you watch as Alistair comes running up, sticking his, I have the sickle. Sticking his rapier deep into the sort of oblique area of this orc, and you watch as blood begins to foam out of his mouth, and you can see the life leaving him. He's not quite dead yet, but he's nearly close. You have him by the throat, though. What do you do?
I'm gonna headbutt him.
Okay. Roll me a couple. Roll me 2, because you're frenzied
Yeah.
anyway, so just roll me 2.
Big value.
Oh my god. Okay. Would you like to describe it, or do you want me to describe it? Because I have an idea of what you're
You
going
can
for.
describe it, yeah.
Okay. So, Alistair hits him and stabs him in the guts, and you watch, just see, oh, and you reach out, one hand already grasping his throat, the other one reaches out and grasps the other side of his throat, both thumbs reaching over. You start squeezing for a moment. You see his head starts to turn purple. You can see the pressure, and in a furious rage compels you. You take your hands right around his throat, and you start mashing his head back and forward, lowering your brow. You start thrusting your head into his, pounding, boom, 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 faster with each headbutt until nothing but paste remains of his shattered, broken face and skull. You watch as the orc, after the first 2 hits, the orc is completely limp and dead, but Hathron does not stop. Something has overcome him. Daedalus and Alistair both see this. You just watch as, for what is probably, it feels like many minutes, but it's probably about a minute or 2 of Hathron just headbutting this thing over and over and over and over and over until nothing is left. And you watch as Hathron holds what remains of him with his left hand, and he casts the broken body of this orc aside. Hathron, you've killed the last orc, and you've wreaked bloody vengeance upon them. But you are still not sated. The three of you take a moment to look around the throne room at the dead orcs that lie around you. The carnage of what has been done here. What do you do? The combat is over.
Hathron's gonna make a beeline towards the stairs. And he's gonna kind of like, you know, if somebody's in his way, he's gonna move him out the way. Because he wants to kill more, so he's gonna go downstairs and kill some more.
You're like in a blood-fueled, frenzied rage. You push Alistair out of the way. You take your right hand and you, from left to right, just kind of swipe him 5 feet out of the way.
Alistair, seeing this happen, turns to Daedalus, and his eyes get wide, knowing that damn well most of the warriors they just took care of. And Alistair's gonna start running. He's gonna chase after Hathron.
Daedalus is going to follow suit. He's going to go chasing after Alistair, who's chasing after Hathron. The three of us racing down the stairs, trying to keep up with Hathron. Hathron, you're just bounding down the stairs. You're less so running, and you're more like jumping many steps at a time, bounding down. And then probably about halfway down the last flight of stairs, you just jump the whole thing and clear it right out the door. Daedalus and Alistair struggling to keep up with your speed. You come careening out the front door. And as you come careening out the front door, you see two guards, two orcs, and behind them, what looks to be roughly between 10 to 15, I would say more like 15 to 20 women and children. Hathron, you get down there first, and you're probably about 15 feet from the two orcs, and you can tell they are very much afraid, but they're not budging. They're not going to move. And you can see both of them are wielding spears and shields, and they stand in front of you with them drawn and ready. Alistair and Daedalus are just making it out the door. I'm going to let you go first with what you want to say or what you want to do in this moment. The two orcs are standing there, and you can see their spears are pointed towards you.
Alright. No hesitation. I'm going to fucking go right in between them. I'm going to fight them both.
Alright. You go running up.
Take a swing at both. One for one and one for...
Mm-hmm.
So,
that hits.
Fucking, 18, yeah. And then... I don't know what that's on.
That
13?
one does not, though.
Okay. So just one.
Alright. So, you cleave your great axe from left to right, swiping at one. You cleave that axe across his sort of like chest area, knocking his shield out of the way as you do so. You watch as his shield goes careening 5 to 10 feet away from him across the ground, clattering across the stone floor. And he's greatly wounded, but he's not quite dead yet. You use the momentum of that cleave, and you bring the great axe around and then back down onto the next one, who parries it just enough away from him, letting it glance off of his shield. But you watch as his shield, that's sort of like makeshift plank shield, sort of snaps in the area that was struck, and then you see the orc cast the shield aside. Now he's just two-handing the spear. The orcs are going to take their attacks at Hathron, and then it's going to be Alistair and Daedalus' turn.
Oh, fuck, the +2s. Goddamn.
So here's the first attack at Hathron from the first one. A unnatural, well, it's not a 20, it's a 21. 21 hits.
Yep.
You're going to take a d6 plus 2. You take 4, so half, because that's physical damage. And then another spear attack comes at you. That one does not hit. So the first one stabs into you, and the other one just sort of glances over your shoulder as it sticks in, and he twists this spearhead and pulls it back out. You watch as both of the orcs then take sort of a defensive posture next to one another. they get closer in, trying to prevent you from trying to get past them, because they can tell this is not just a normal fight. This is annihilation that they're facing, and they have something to protect. And one even calls out to you, "Do you not have a heart? Leave this place. They are innocent." It is now Alistair's turn. Alistair, what do you do?
Alistair, can he hear what the orc just said, perchance? Just curious.
Roll me a perception check.
Eight.
You heard enough to know that he's kind of pleading. You don't know exactly what he said, but you can hear the tone of his voice that he's trying to defend himself from Hathron. You can hear them sort of like pleading in a way. Not exactly what is said. It's more like a jumble of words, but you can hear the tone of voice. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So Alistair's going to step forward. Maybe about 10 feet from behind the action. He's going to watch as Hathron fights these two guards who are clearly defending somewhere between 15 to 20 women and children. And he's going to speak. Hathron! If you dare touch a single woman or child, I swear on my life that I will do anything I can to stop you. War is meant for warriors, hence the word warriors. They do not have arms against you. And he's just going to stand there and watch. He's going to let this fight play out, but if he so much takes a step towards the women and children, Alistair is going to hold his action and charge forward.
Daedalus is going to very slowly walk up. He's going to step in front of Alistair to the left of Hathron, but not next to the orcs, just out of their reach. He's not going to help Hathron in this moment, but he's not going to stop him. As he just silently approaches, he puts his sickle he has the sickle in his hand, but he's not going to use it. He just walks up. That is his turn. The two orcs are going to fight back. One, before he fights back, says, he says to you, Hathron, "You're the Orc Bane. I know you. I've heard of you." And he's just going to, after saying that, he's going to take a desperate strike at you with his spear. He's going to try to stab into your gut. Missing completely. He is trembling.
Can I make an intimidation roll?
I'll say you can use a reaction to make one, sure.
Because I just figured, with how hot I came in and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I know
Go
who
ahead.
you are.
Yeah. All right. What do you say?
Oh, I don't say anything. I just fucking. He's like, "You're the Orc Bane. I know you," and I'm good.
Okay.
Fucker.
You succeed in your intimidation check, so he is afraid now, so he takes disadvantage on attacking you on his next turn if he has a next turn, because that was the one you hit the first turn. The second one is going to sort of plead, "Leave! Leave this place!" And he stabs back at you. "I don't care who you are. Leave!" And he stabs back into you. This one actually hitting you. He has a 21. D6. You take another 4 points halved, so you take another 2 points of physical damage. It is now your turn, Hathron Blackmane.
Alright, we all know what I'm about to do, so.
Go ahead and do it. That's one.
That's for the other guy?
That's two. Alright, so first attack damage. Second attack damage. All right, so the first attack, which one are you hitting with the first attack? The 14. Are you hitting the one on the left or the right?
I'll go right to left.
Okay, so the 14, go ahead and describe how you kill this one. This is the one who says, I don't care who you are. You leave this place, and he strikes at you. And he stabs you in the gut. You see a spear go about about 4 inches deep into your belly.
Hathron, takes a step forward with the spear still in his stomach and cleaves down at him. Fucking, hits him, kills him.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls the spear out of his stomach, shoves it in the other guy.
Oh! Where do you shove it into him? Like his chest, his stomach?
Right in the fucking mouth.
Oh my god. So you take your great axe and with one hand swing it down into him, and then with the other hand wrench the spear out of your stomach and twirl it in that hand and reposition, stabbing the other one through the mouth. As you do this, you hear an audible scream and pleas for mercy from the orcs behind them. The women, the children, you can hear them screaming and yelling. You can hear the women in Orcish begging. Some of them have already fallen to their knees and plead their hands up in the air in a praying position for mercy. Others position themselves between you and the children. Children are all cowering in the corner. They are as far away from you as possible, and as you kill these last 2 orcs, Daedalus steps up to your side. He's on your left. And you heard Alistair's words. What do you do, Hathron? You get to take the lead for this moment.
Hathron is going to put his great axe away, on his back. And he's gonna take a second and listen to the screams and the pleading and the begging.
And there's a lot of it. You can hear one woman begging for mercy. Take me. And this is in Orcish, so Alistair cannot understand. Daedalus can, and you can. And she's saying, take me. Please don't hurt my child. Take me. You can kill me, you can do whatever you want with me, but do not kill my son. He is but a babe. And you can see her kind of cradling him. Please do not hurt him. And others are crying. Some are praying to their gods. All the children are just screaming. There's not really any speaking going on from them. They are just terrified after witnessing what they have. Daedalus stands next to you, and you can see him kind of looking over at you. No particular expression on his face.
Hathron's gonna look at the orc woman, who's the only one brave enough to speak, and say, "Where was mercy when they killed my family?" And then walk towards them.
Oh, Alistair's boom running in, and he is going to he's going to straight up fucking stand in front of him.
Alright. Alistair runs and positions himself right in front of Hathron, stopping in front of him.
And he points his rapier right at his head. What did I tell you, Hathron? I will not let you touch these women or these children. They are not warriors.
Are you supposed to be? And I fucking kick him.
Oh, shit!
Bro, bowling ball right into the fucking women and children.
Alright, roll your d20 with advantage.
Do I need to roll something?
No, he's rolling to hit you. That hits. Alright, Parker, roll me a d4 with your strength modifier.
Do you just want an unarmed strike?
Yeah, it's your what's your damage?
An
So
unarmed
it's a
strike
D4.
is a 1 plus your strength,
Right.
so it's 6.
Okay, so Alistair, you are. How do you hit him? How do you strike him?
He says his thing, I say my thing, and then I punt him in the balls.
Oh! You get punted, Alistair, right up Broadway. You literally get airborne from the force. You get about 2-3 feet up, and then another 5 to 10 feet rolling back from the force of the impact. and you can feel that impact throughout the generations of the Darkheart family. Your ancestors felt that one. You go rolling to the ground. You are in unimaginable fucking pain.
Alistair, in unimaginable pain and pure anger at this point, is going to mutter something in Infernal, and he's going to cast Stygian Rebuke on him. It's my last
go ahead and roll your Hathron, you roll a dexterity save.
Is it just straight dex or is it choice?
Straight dex.
Straight dex. 15, you save.
Succeed, so you'll take half damage. Ooh, 13, so 6.
You take 6.
Oh.
How much
Cold
HP do you have, Hathron?
43.
How much left?
43. I was answering how much I have left.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting. All right. After that happens, what do you do?
I keep walking towards the fucking people I want to kill.
All right, you step forward, and Alistair is amongst them now. He's kind of like 5 feet deep into their group, and to the front right of Alistair is a particularly elderly-looking male orc. He does not have the ability to walk without a cane. You can see him just kind of barely standing on his own fruition, and he's standing there with what looks to be his daughter, a much younger orc who's helping him stand in this moment. And you can see him look at you, and as you approach, he says, "I do not fear you, boy. Come. Let me buy time from the children. Let them have a precious few more moments." As he sort of willingly accepts his fate, he steps forward. "Hush, my child," he says to his daughter as she kind of leaves his side.
All right.
"I will not run," the old man says to you.
Fuck it. Alright, Hathron is gonna approach, rear back with his fucking... He's gonna approach and he's gonna make it appear like he doesn't give a shit about the old man. He's gonna kill his fucking...
Oh, you're gonna kill the girl?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Alright.
So when the guy's like, "Oh, I don't fear you," Hathron looks at him and says, "I believe you," and then goes straight for the girl.
Oh my god. I'm not even gonna have you roll it because it would be an unexpected attack and her AC is basically non-existent. This is a young woman, she's an adult, but you bring the great axe down and you cut her down in front of all of them. More screams, gasp, and horror. You watch as the old man's eyes are widened. He is covered in the blood of his own daughter in this moment. And he screams as he falls to his knees, clawing at her. And you hear multiple of them call you monster. You even hear one call out demon. Daedalus stands there. Alistair, you see Daedalus's eyes are wide in horror of what he just saw. Hathron has attacked. Hathron, I'm going to say that's the end of your turn in this moment, unless there's anything specifically you want to do.
I want to grab the old man by the back of it, like his hair on the back of his head. Say, "You will know what they knew. You will feel what my family felt." And then he kind of like points his head at his fucking dead daughter.
Okay. Alistair, I'm going to have you go one more time before Daedalus does anything. What do you do in this moment?
Alistair, gripping his stomach, feeling the effects of a kick that maybe might not allow him to have children anymore. Who fucking knows? Slowly starts to get up. Very slowly. And Alistair, as he finally gets up, still gripping his stomach with one hand, approaches Hathron slowly with a limp. And he's going to try to fucking stab him in the fucking shoulder.
Alright, go ahead and roll an attack.
18.
Okay, that hits.
8 points of damage. And he
Right,
stabs
an 18
him,
hits?
piercing.
Yeah, an 18 hits, so it's 4 damage.
Okay, good. Describe how you hit, Zach. Sorry.
He
wanna
pierces
make
his
sure.
shoulder with his rapier. You fucking bastard. I told you not to touch the women or children. Consider our deal done.
Alright, Hathron.
I'm gonna hit Alistair with the old man.
Are you really going to?
Yeah.
You're gonna throw the old man into him or something?
Yeah.
Would this
Alright,
be an
I got the old
improvised
man by the
weapon?
head. So,
I'm gonna say this is an unarmed strike.
Oh, great. And no.
That does not hit. So you throw the old man towards
Yeah.
Alistair. The old man, as he is thrown to you, Alistair, you manage to catch the old man. You don't let him like get thrown at you and you both go tumbling over. You brace yourself and you actually catch him and kind of set him down gently, but both of your hands are occupied with that. Hathron, you do have a second attack as you are raging. Do you wish to attack again, or are you going to end your turn here?
I'll attack again.
Okay.
Is the old man in front of him, or?
Alistair is, as he catches
He's
him.
got the old man behind him.
Yeah. No, can I say that, like, Alistair catches him, turns, and tries to safely put the old man on the ground, is, like, kind of mounted on top of him, and is trying to protect him.
So you've got your back to Hathron, and you're like laying him down gently as he falls.
Exactly.
Okay. His back is to you.
Would that be an advantage? Turn around.
Hmm?
Would that be advantage because his back is facing me?
If you're attacking Alistair, yes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna hit him. I'm just gonna hit him. I'm not trying to kill him. Maybe.
What are you hitting him with?
I was gonna punch him in the spine. So an unarmed strike. Because I wanna bare hand all these orcs.
All right. Go for your attack.
Garbage.
Lucky.
One.
Luckily, you have advantage, though. Come on. Yes!
11 doesn't
Okay,
hit
yeah.
either.
Yes!
So, as this happens, I'm going to use this as a bit of a narrative device here. As this happens, as you go to strike Alistair, Daedalus steps up to your side. In front of you, slightly to the left, and Alistair, as you look over your shoulder, you see Hathron go to punch you, and Daedalus is going to step forward, and as he's stepping forward, he's going to sort of parry at Hathron's strikes, making it to where instead of hitting you, they just glance away from you. Daedalus steps in front, and he looks at you. It was a terrible mistake to ever work with you. You are a monster, and I will not let you put them through that suffering. They are innocent. If you want to kill them, then you're gonna have to kill me, Black Mane. And then Daedalus is gonna attack you, Hathron. Daedalus is going to step up, and he's going to immediately just shoot a double leg takedown on your ass.
Grapple?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Target must see. Hang on. Don't get too happy.
We're not doing this based off the fucking
Oh, okay,
rules
cool,
here.
cool,
This is the way we do it.
Alright, sweet. Alright.
I'm rolling to hit you to grapple you.
Okay.
So I'm shooting a double leg takedown. Daedalus immediately after says, "You're going to have to kill me." He fucking immediately goes running into you and blasts the double leg, taking you to the ground. He gets on top to a mounted position, and he's going to immediately just start throwing ground and pound strikes at you. Let me go ahead and roll one attack. He misses his ground and pound strike, so Daedalus's fist, as he's raining down strikes on you, you're moving your head, kind of rotating and throttling your body side to side as he's punching into the stone floor beneath you. You can hear the thunderous cracks into the pavement beneath the both of you. Scoom! Scoom! And you can hear Daedalus grunting as he's trying to hit down and trying to crush you. It is now your turn, Hathron. You are beneath Daedalus. Grappled back to the floor. You are prone.
I'm gonna... What do I want? I'm gonna lean up, wrap my arms around you, and try to turn us over.
Alright, go ahead and roll your own grapple check. Same thing. D20 strength.
Yeah, not great.
16. That is not enough.
In that case. Can I do another thing?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll throw a punch or two. Probably just one.
So you're throwing punches back. You reach up, try to throttle yourself over, and Daedalus reaches down, countering. As you try to reach up and try to grab him and rotate, he just pushes down on your shoulders, pushing you back to the ground. He reaches back to bring another fist down, but before he brings his fist down, you're going to reach up and jab from the ground. So go ahead and roll an unarmed strike on Daedalus. 13 misses. You reach up and rear a fist right back up at him, and you miss, whiffing at the air. It is now... It is now Alistair's turn. Alistair, are you going to get involved, or are you going to just kind of let them tussle while maybe you could, just as an idea, you could get the women and children out of here?
That's exactly what I was going to do. Alistair, not knowing whether or not this elderly orc man is going to understand what he's saying, says, "I'm so sorry." And he is going to say, he's going to hold out his palm and put 2 fingers on his palm and signal, like communicate to them, "Run." And he's going to point at the opening here, down where they entered in.
As you shout out, "Run," you realize they understand common. They understand it. And you can watch as handfuls of them, women grabbing the elderly, women grabbing the children, some children just running on their own, some elderly just running on their own, trying to get away as they can. They start making a way for the exit. They're about 15 to 20 feet away from Daedalus and Hathron at the end of their turn. And Daedalus and Hathron are sharing the same space. They're tumbling. You're watching them throw punches back and forth, raining down on each other. Is that the end of your turn, Alistair? Because that was your action.
Yeah, he's just going to make sure that you guys don't run into him or no funny business with Hathron happens. So he's going to guide them all the way to... He's going to move 30 feet towards the entrance, kind of helping everybody out.
Okay, so I'll have you move 30 feet towards the entrance.
About
That's right there, about. Okay.
And that's it.
All right. It is now Daedalus's turn. Daedalus is raining strikes down, and you're throwing strikes back down back up at him. Daedalus is then going to just grab either side of your head, Hathron, and he's going to start. He's going to start headbutting you again and again and again. Let's see. Does this hit? Does a 15 hit?
No.
All right, and then one more. But does a 24?
Yeah.
1 plus strength, so you take 4 damage. You can have that, though. You take 2 damage from Daedalus headbutting. You watch as, well, Alistair, this is sort of like from your perspective, you watch as Daedalus grabs either side of Hathron's skull, and then he sort of brings Hathron a little bit towards him. He just starts raining headbutts down on Hathron. 1, 2, 3, and finally you see after the third headbutt, finally blood is drawn from the nose of Hathron. You watch his nose sort of just bust, and this sort of like red pus just comes kicking out, splurting blood onto Daedalus's armor. It is now Hathron's turn.
Alright, Hathron's gonna also grab your head.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. You grab my head.
And
Alright.
he's gonna sink his fucking thumbs into your goddamn eyes.
Oh my god,
Oh
okay,
my
cool.
god.
Go ahead and roll to hit. Unarmed strike.
Roll.
17 ties my AC, that hits.
Yes.
Yes! Alright, 6 damage. As you
It'd
do
be-
this...
It'd be 8. It's a plus
Okay,
2 to my
8
damage
damage.
rolls when I rage.
Gotcha. 8 damage. As you do this, you watch as you reach up and stick your thumbs into Daedalus's eyes. Daedalus screams, "Ah!" as you start trying to blind Daedalus. As you do this, Daedalus sort of lets go of his grasp on your head. Is that it for your turn?
I want to try to reverse it. I want to try to get on top.
Okay, so you're going to once again do me a strength check where you're trying to hip toss him off of you.
Yep.
So that's, yeah. 27. As you do this, you reverse the position. You gouge into Daedalus's eyes and you hip toss, and now you're on top in the same position. Daedalus is on bottom and you're gouging at his eyes, sort of like the mountain over Oberyn, the Viper from Game of Thrones. As you're putting pressure down, trying to crush Daedalus's skull, you're gonna, it is now, let's see, it's Alistair's turn.
Oh, I wanna say something.
Okay, go ahead and say something.
Hathron, as he starts, fucking Daedalus up finally, he yells out, "I'll kill you, and I'll kill them all!" And he fucking starts squeezing.
Alright. Alistair, you hear this and you see this. Hathron now has the advantage. He's now on top of Daedalus and he's beginning to crush his skull, or attempt to.
Okay. So, as Alistair was pushed out of the way upstairs, Alistair is going to raise his hand up and cast Eldritch Blast as a black mist begins to form in his hand. And he's going to use his Repelling Blast feature if this hits. So he's trying to, boom, shunt him off of Daedalus.
Alright, go ahead and roll.
21.
21 hits.
Damn, yep.
As you hit the back of Hathron, he is pushed off of Daedalus, knocked back off of him. Sort of sends him careening into the stones, maybe 5 feet away from the two of them. Hathron, you feel this blast hit into the backside of you. You take 5 points of force damage as you go tumbling forward. Alistair, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
He's going to run up in between him and Daedalus. And he's going to prepare his rapier. It's just 30 feet. I just did the math, so.
Okay. Daedalus' turn, he's going to stand up, and he's going to move to the other side of Hathron. And Daedalus is going to... I want to take a look-see real quick and see what I want to do here. Fuck it. Daedalus is going to press the advantage. Daedalus is going to get up to his feet, and he comes sort of like... He's rocked. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's like, his eyes fucking hurt. He can barely see, and he's going to sort of like... as he's walking over, he stumbles a little bit, heading towards Hathron. He starts to regain his vision. He sees him. You! And he reaches down at Hathron. And as he reaches down at you, Hathron, he reaches down and grabs the scruff of your neck, like the front of you. He's trying to grab at your tunic, whatever armor or clothes that you have there, or necklace. And he reaches down, and as you see, you look up at Hathron, you look up at Daedalus, and you can see the smoke start to peel out of the sides of his mouth, and you hear, and then he fucking shoots out fire from his mouth. He's going to fire breath you right point blank range. He's trying to spew it all over your chest, your neck, and your face. He's trying to burn you. This is a dexterity saving throw, but you are prone, so you have disadvantage. You fail. Your 14 is not enough to succeed, as you're going to take, I believe it's 2d6 of fire damage.
There we go. Alright.
You take 12 points of fire damage as Daedalus burns and completely melts away portions of your clothing, and you can feel your skin begin to boil and blister as he's breathing napalm all across your chest, your neck, and just beneath your jaw, and cresting just a little bit up the bottom portions of your face. And you hear Daedalus scream as he roars, "Die!" as he just keeps spewing fire upon you. It is now your turn. The fire fades away, and Daedalus is just kind of throttling you back and forward as the remnants of the flames spew from him.
Take that shit to the chest. I'm gonna try to grapple Alistair.
Ooh. Okay. He's a little too close. And he's low HP. What are you gonna do? Alright, you reach out to grapple him. Roll me a strength check.
I get advantage.
Yeah, you succeed.
I'm gonna do the other one just to see. Okay.
You definitely succeed.
Yeah, it's not even possible for me to beat that number, so...
Okay, so you reach out and you grapple Alistair. You still have your attack.
I'm not gonna attack,
Oh my god.
because I think you guys might win. That shit hurted. Hathron is going to look at Daedalus because he's holding Alistair, so he doesn't have to look at him. And he said, "We had a deal. You gave me your word. Now this? Damn you both." And he's gonna throw Alistair into Daedalus.
Oh! Okay. Go ahead and roll me a little strength check for that. You're throwing Alistair into Daedalus. I'll give you advantage, though.
Okay, cool, thank God.
Because Daedalus is trying to, he's trying to fucking maim you right now, so he's not
fuck.
trying to defend himself. As you go to throw Alistair into Daedalus, you realize Daedalus still hasn't let go of you. He's still got a firm grasp on your collar and whatever you're wearing. He's not letting go. You throw Alistair in him, Alistair just bounces off. And Daedalus says, "You're not going anywhere!" And he is very clearly, there's something that is snapped on Daedalus. When you look at him, you can see that there is something that has been broken in this moment.
Sick.
Um,
Can I fucking bite you?
well, you already have done two things this turn. You've done
That
two
is true.
attacks, so you can say on your next turn. Is that the end of your turn? Because I don't think you can do anything else. Because you can't move because you're grappled.
Oh fuck, you
And
got
you're
my fucking,
fucking Alistair.
you got my ears, man, my ear bandolier,
I'm in
trophies.
your fucking ear bands.
You got my trophies, my ear bandolier. I have a leather belt around my chest that
Oh,
has
you're right.
ears and teeth on it.
Yeah, so I'm grabbing you by that and keeping you from moving.
I'm not gonna rip that, that's precious to me. Let's go, I'll come towards you. Let's...
Okay, so you go standing up towards Daedalus. You're gonna let him pick you up, basically, almost? Like, bring you to your feet?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this, I guess.
Alright. How are you looking right now, by the way? Because Daedalus is bloody as fuck. He's
I'm
barely hanging on.
I'm at 20 HP.
Yeah, he's at fucking 4. Daedalus is gonna end this now. Daedalus has already grappled you. Daedalus is gonna shove you off the cliff. Yeah. Daedalus is going to look at you as he pulls you up to your feet, and you're moving to face him face to face, and you're both just kind of snarling at each other. Daedalus is going to grab you close to him, and as he grabs you close to him, let's see if he succeeds before he does this, before I say something cool and then nothing happens. I'm going to try to shove you off the cliff here. That succeeds, I'm pretty sure. That's a 22.
I would like to grab you as well.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh,
See if
shit,
you can.
alright.
If you want to try, you can. But you have disadvantage, I will say, because Daedalus is like really got a hold of you. All right, the first one hits. Let's see what the second one does.
Damn.
You know what?
Well, so here's
Actually,
when raging, I get
with you,
advantage.
yeah, you have advantage, so it cancels out. So actually, the first one works. So this is what happens. Daedalus brings you up to him, and what was the last thing you said? Can you say that one more time? We had a deal or something like that. Say that again.
Yeah, we had a deal. Damn you both. No.
As you deal, Daedalus looks at you, and as he brings you up to him and you're face to face, he's gonna say, "Consider this deal over." And then and as he throws you, kind of grab onto him, and the both of you go tumbling off the cliff. Go tumbling 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet, tumbling down into the waters below, into the wreckage of the shipyard. And you disappear into the rocky waters below. Both of you hitting the water, and then Alistair, as you go running over to the edge of the cliffs, you don't see either of them. Daedalus is gone.
Okay.
Hathron is gone. You look around. The orcish women, the children are gone, and all that remains are the few slaughtered bodies of the innocents that Hathron was able to get a hold of, and the dead guards. You look around. What do? Do you shout? Do you try to search for them?
In this moment, Alistair's going to be panicking, looking left, looking right, looking down into the water. Then he's going to scream, "Daedalus! Daedalus! Where did you go?" You can see a look of worry plastered on his face as he grips the back of his head with both of his hands, his rapier disappearing as he raises his hand to his heads, forming into a cloud of mist that causes it to disappear. And Alistair's in a state of worry and panic for his friend.
Well, gentlemen, describe what's happened before you. Alistair, as you look down and you begin to search, you're panicking, you shout out, "Daedalus! Daedalus! Where are you? Answer me!" You hear nothing but the waves crashing into the cliffs beneath you. You see no bodies float to the surface. No sign of Hathron. No sign of Daedalus. And that is where we will end tonight's session. So, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hate to end things on a literal cliffhanger here, but I thought it would be the perfect moment to end tonight's episode because that is one hell of an ending. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us again on our wonderful experiences campaign, this story. We will be back again very soon to share more adventures with you. I want to take the time to thank our Patreon supporters. Thank you to our listeners, our subscribers, and I just want to point you all towards our socials. We have a Instagram, we have a Facebook, and we have, of course, our Spotify, and we have... are we on Apple for podcasts
So
as well?
we are now on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, RSS.com, and many more to be coming.
Yeah.
Oh, and YouTube
so
now,
any of
too.
those things. And YouTube. So please, 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 if you are supportive of this channel and you want to make a big difference and impact us to keep this channel alive and what we do alive, please subscribe wherever you can. Share, like, comment, do whatever you can to help us get out to the algorithm. We want to reach more and more people to share this story with, and also we want to keep the doors open on this thing. We do this as a passion. We do it for fun to share with y'all. Any money that we make gets reinvested right into this podcast, so any support in any way is greatly appreciated. I greatly appreciate you spending your time with us here tonight. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week and the rest of your day. And for everyone here at Force D20, I'm Hunter, your DM for Thrones, and I say, take it easy.
Take it easy.